feel like every video is going to start off with me, like, coming into the camera. I'm really cold right now. It's currently, what time is it? It's 1:24 a.m. I got off work at, like, 11:30ish. There, I have notes because I feel like I want to make, like, more videos, but I don't, like, know what to talk about in the moment. Like, I'll be going off on my own thing at work or with my friends, and I'll be like, oh my god, I should have a podcast. This is so intriguing. I'm so intriguing. I'm so entertaining. And then when I actually, like, sit down to, like, do something media related, it just disappears. One ear out the other. Every single possible opinion I could have that is intriguing or interesting or anyone would care about flits out of my brain. Does not exist. Kind of like a lot of my self-respect. Anyways, okay. So I have a firm belief that everybody should work in the service industry, specifically in, like, fast food, or at least in a restaurant of some type. This is coming from someone. My first job was at McDonald's. My second job was another restaurant, and then another restaurant. Like, that's mainly what I've worked in, because there's a certain type of entitled person, people that go into restaurants anticipating a certain amount of service and then treat people badly. And I fully understand, like, if you go into a restaurant, like, people shouldn't be fucking treating you badly. You shouldn't be disrespected by the service staff, you know what I mean? But if you come in and you seat yourself and you don't communicate to anybody, I'm okay with my server going, oh, I didn't realize you were sat. We can go back to the host stand. We can wait for the host to sit you. I'm not a fan. Like, if I ran a restaurant, it would probably go down into the ground, because I'm not going to let people be entitled like that. Like, I hate encouraging and enabling that amount of entitlement. And a lot of that entitlement comes from, you know, being born in a certain, frankly, tax bracket. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of that entitlement, I feel like, comes from not ever being told that you didn't deserve these things that you just always had, you know what I mean? You, generally speaking. And I think what would solve that, you know, put yourself in someone else's shoes. I think my thing is, I want people to work in these fields so they are aware of what they really entail. So if you aren't aware of what serving really is and what it entails as a job, then you probably wouldn't see much of an issue with seating yourself at a dirty table. If you don't understand how restaurants work, I understand that ignorance allows that to be a decision that, like, I'm not going to put anyone down for. If you are ignorant to how restaurants work, it's understandable for you to make a decision that's kind of unempathetic to restaurant staff. Having said that, don't be ignorant to how restaurants work. Don't be ignorant. Like, it is so easy. That is why I think everyone should work at a restaurant. A lot of fucking people get treated really badly that I don't believe would be treated badly if the person who was the offender of that treatment could empathize. Because that's all it is. The reason I believe everyone should work in fast food or work in a restaurant in that industry is because there's so much empathy that you gain from knowledge. You know, there's so much empathy that you could possibly have for something that maybe you wouldn't because you're ignorant. And this goes into, you know, both of my points. I mean, one of them was everyone should work at a restaurant. And the other is, and this is something someone at work said to me, so I'm not going to take credit, but it is really intelligent in my opinion. Someone said that they believed that most people are good, have good intentions, and a lot of the messiness and the ickiness comes from a lack of knowledge. Because if you think about it, you know, the whole reason everyone should work in a restaurant is because if you gain the knowledge of how, frankly, restaurant workers are treated, if you gain the knowledge of how much work it actually entails, because it's a lot. I would have constant breakdowns at every fast food place I would work at. It's work, it's cleanliness, it's food on time, it's speed, it's overwhelming, it's managing, it's time management, and there's so much that you're not going to be able to empathize with, you're not going to care about because you just don't know it. Knowledge is power. knowledge, intelligence, the opportunity and ability to learn, especially in the age of information as we are. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much about psychology that like I researched when I was like 16 because I had a hard home life, and I made the decision to do my own research, to take responsibility and control of who I am. And I like who I am now. My point in saying all of this is I had the knowledge at my disposal. Whoa. I really want weed. I had the knowledge at my disposal, right? But there's so many people that just grew up, and the nature of how they were raised, they just don't have the knowledge to have the empathy. You have kids who weren't taught, you have adults who weren't taught that not everybody was just given a car when they turned 16. You know what I mean? That not everybody has a safety net to fall back on, that not everybody has parents to move back with. Not everybody has these things that might feel so normal to the majority of people around, especially in their 20s. Like around, like my age group is so strange because I feel like you have some people that are just, they're ready, they know what they like, they know what they want, you know what I mean? Like, but they have a plan for a career. And then some of my friends are just like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking nomad who smokes a lot of weed, you know what I mean? Which is the majority of my friends, decidedly, because I have awesome friends. Are you kidding me? Having said that, I think what he said earlier, for a lot of people, because, okay, this is another thing. When both people are arguing, both people likely believe, even if they are lying to themselves, likely believe that their belief is correct and theirs is the right one, right? So when I'm having these arguments with people, there's a lot of, okay, I have my opinion and I believe I'm right, but I'm aware that me being right inherently discredits your opinion and your belief. So let me try and understand your belief, and who knows, maybe my belief will change based off of the new information. But instead of arguing back and forth, getting nowhere, I made the decision to put out an olive branch, you know what I mean? To say, I want to understand you more than I want to be right. And I think if the world as a whole, if America, let me focus on America, because that's what I can speak on. Well, specifically Arizona, but as a whole, if we were all able to really enter each other's shoes a little bit more, everyone's a little bit more, I think we would all be a lot more empathetic. We would all be a lot more loving. We would all be a lot more giving and welcoming and honest. I feel like I just want open communication. You know what I mean?